Monster Stalloid. Alright, so are you guys going to go look for Ebenezer Ott?
I'm training in town.
That's actually the start of Stalloid's English lesson. The first thing he teaches.
Say that again.
I'm looking for Jane.
Okay.
Sam's character.
Miss Bloomberg, you went to the house and watched that afternoon. They never left. So you went back to your hotel. Next morning on the 28th, did you want to go watch the house again?
Sure.
Yeah. You see them all leaving. On foot. Everybody can make me a spot hidden. Actually, go ahead and make me a stealth check first, real quick. This will be like a versus thing for you guys. So make a spot hidden versus your stealth.
Hard.
Regular.
Okay, regular. That's what you knew. Regular, hard, extreme.
Extreme. Fail.
And you failed. Alright, it's hard to hide out here. There's just snow everywhere. Did everybody notice her?
I guess so.
Okay. You guys see Miss Bloomberg kind of like nonchalantly hanging out in the neighborhood.
Jacali wave.
They all wave at you. They obviously noticed you.
I'm making my way towards her.
Okay, I was heading over to you.
Miss Bloomberg, I've already paid you. You can come and hang out with us.
That sounds so
It does.
So Otto walks
you weren't
over.
a working woman.
Are you guys all going over to her, or are you going to head on up to start looking for Ebenezer Ott? What's the call?
Ebenezer head on over.
So okay, then they all start walking away except Otto, who walks over to you.
Hello, Miss Bloomberg.
Hello.
I noticed you're still watching this. May I know why?
There's not a clear reason.
A lot of things aren't clear in our line of work.
As of right now, that is not information you are privy to.
I am a marshal, and it's just the two of us at the moment. I know you're interested in West, and I'm no friend of his, as you probably noticed. So if you want to tell me, I will not betray your trust.
All I know is I'm supposed to keep tabs on him, and that is what I am doing.
But who sent you?
An unnamed person. I do not know.
And how did they contact you?
I can help you with this if you want. The man approached you in Denver. You never got a good look at his face. He kept it kind of like, he kept his hat and kept it like this. But you were going to get paid a considerable amount of money, is what he said.
Did you want
Specifics? No, it wasn't. It was we already established it was not Pete Sutter.
Okay.
He said a considerable amount of money. Would you want to know more details on that?
Yes.
If you succeed in giving him the information he wants, it's worth $1,000. Follow Jack West. Send back information to Mr. J. Smith here in Denver at the telegraph office. Everything you find out. Especially if he tries to leave the country, you need to let us know immediately. You need to let me know immediately. But they want to know everything that he does, everyone he talks to. So how much of that you reveal to him is up to you. So you never got a good look at this guy's face? No. And he didn't talk like this. So, he had kind of a refined accent, actually.
Jeff West, I hate that guy.
So whatever you want to tell him is up to you now.
Jacali West, I hate that fellow. As players, they know, but their characters don't know anything unless you tell them. So, and you don't have to tell them anything you don't want to.
I think I'm just gonna leave it vague. Yeah.
Can they roll a psychology?
Yeah.
Oh yes, you can roll a psychology. You're not lying, but this is the check to see if he thinks you know more than you're saying to him.
99.
Okay.
What?
99. Is that a critical fail? You have psychology under 15?
Yeah.
She really doesn't know who she's dealing with. Maybe she doesn't tell you much about him. Maybe it was via just correspondence that they spoke. You don't think she got a good look at this guy, this person. Maybe they never met face to face. That's what you get. But she's telling you everything that's important, I think. You think you can trust her in this matter, at least, explicitly. It's a critical fail. Maybe she's a victim. Maybe someone is using her. Maybe they're blackmailing her.
Well, you probably shouldn't take deals from people you don't know a lot about.
This one seems awfully important, so.
Okay. I'm gonna give you some more of that psychology. If it's important and it's with Jack West, it's probably some awful thing he's done.
Well.
He got a critical fail. He's getting some poor information here.
The worst information.
Well, thank you for your time. If you want to come with me, you're welcome to. And I'll start trying to walk back and catch up with them.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Okay. So these two catch up with you.
Hi.
A short ways up the road. Here's a map.
Figured they would.
There's a map of North Wheeling in here. Here we go. North of Wheeling. So, up north of Wheeling, pretty far. You ask instructions from some of these farmhouses, and you find the house of Ebenezer Ott. It's pretty far up. It's actually not far from the Elger house.
A couple times from the river, you can actually see this massive structure on the hill, on top of a mountain. Dead trees around it. This time of year, all the trees. None of them have leaves. But you can find Ebenezer Ott's house. It's a little farmhouse, small farm. There's some outbuildings, well-tended fields, covered in snow right now that's melting. Obviously fallow this time of year. Here we go. A knock at the door is answered by a very old gentleman with a beard. Pass that around. He's old. He's got flying white hair, fuzzy beard. He's got glasses on. He's wearing rough clothing, farmer-type clothing. Some warmth comes out of the small house. There is a stove. He's like, yeah.
U.S. Marshal.
He like,
Paranormal detectives.
that appears to be, what?
Paranormal detectives.
What's it?
Yep.
Yep.
So, when did you arrest him?
Just yesterday, actually.
Alright.
But you're here. Done.
I can see that.
Now, I know this line of questioning might frighten you, but we were wondering if you could tell us more about and I guess we're over at the Elger's.
Oh, you point up to the house on there?
Yeah, about them.
Mayhaps. What's it worth to you?
The law.
Have they broken it?
Potentially.
Potentially.
It's called an investigation.
What'd they do?
I don't think we can disclose that information this time.
Friend in the war, huh?
Yeah.
I knew it. Do I know you? You've never met him.
Okay.
But it might be something, you might have seen each other in the street at some point in Wheeling. He obviously comes to town occasionally.
I'm from around here. Maybe you see me.
No.
At least Jacali just does that. Why is the marshal dragging a whole posse around?
They're my deputies.
I'm a deputy.
I don't see no badges.
We haven't earned them yet. He's very strict.
Come on in.
They're in the mail.
He looks at Ophelia too. Okay. He invites you into his house. It's warmed by a single wood stove. It's just got the typical paraphernalia. Everybody can make me a spot hidden.
Spots that are hidden.
Hard.
Oh,
Regular.
damn. I got a really good one. Holy shit.
Everybody check them off if you succeed.
Stars.
Regular, hard,
Regular.
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 Let's roll her own dice. What are you doing?
Oh, no, she fell.
Okay, fail. What'd you get, Jack West?
Oh, I succeeded.
Success. Jacali got a regular success?
Hard.
Hard. So hard's here, and everybody else had regulars except for Miss Bloomberg, who is not used to like being in a group, and so she's a little frazzled by this whole.
Too much stuff to watch.
There's too many people. I prefer hanging out over there and watching them. Okay. There is one thing that stands out in the room is a large potted plant. That's not real familiar to you. You've seen it before. I don't think you have. I don't think Jacali has either. You've seen it before. It is, yes, you can do a natural world. Everybody can do a natural world, actually, or botany if you have
just
botany.
barely.
Jesus, I got an 08.
Yes.
Holy crap.
But using that botany,
Check it out.
Yes.
Do you have botany?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, botany's the other one you can use. Okay. Did you make yours?
No.
Okay.
I've just seen this plant.
You've seen it before. Did you
I
make?
got an 18.
Did you make natural world or botany? Okay. You don't. Okay, so we start with Otto. You don't recognize what it is, but you recognize that you've seen it before. This is the same plants that were growing around the property of the Gearharts over the neighbor of Terwilligers.
Oh.
The ones who had the silver gate and
I think I know.
acted kind of weird. And did you go back in time with them?
Yeah.
Only a few people saw what happened to Elroy Gearhart during the attack. I can't remember who.
I know,
Off the top of
I think
my
I
head.
saw.
Okay. Who turned into a wolf.
Yeah.
You made a regular success. You recognize it, and you recognize it as monkshood, aconitum, also called wolfsbane. You guys definitely recognize, and you recognize it from the Gearhart house too. You two made hards, and you made a regular, right?
Regular bot.
So you recognize it as monkshood / wolfsbane. You two realize that this traditionally is to keep off supernatural spirits, especially werewolves and the like. This guy's got some growing in right there in a pot in his house. You also realize with the extremes that it is poisonous. It's a poisonous plant. Ingestion can cause sickness in large doses. You got to eat a lot of it. It can result in death. It can make you sick. Oh yeah, sickness or with large doses, death. 20 to 40 milliliters of the tincture can prove fatal. Initial signs include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, followed by the sensation of burning, tingling, and numbness in the mouth and face, and burning in the abdomen. Pronounced motor weakness occurs in severe poisonings, and the numbness spreads to the limbs. Other symptoms include sweating, dizziness, difficulty breathing, headache, and confusion. Cause of death is general paralysis of the heart and respiratory system. So it shuts down your heart and respiration. Very dangerous stuff if taken in decent amounts. Not dangerous to touch it, anything like that. It has to be ingested. Treatment includes gastrointestinal decontamination with activated charcoal soon after ingestion. Atropine, mandragora, can be used as well. So with those extremes and hard checks, you guys get that. And you two recognize it as that this stuff's planted all along the edge of the Gearhart property. He sits down, he's like, all right, everybody, take a little touch. And he points to the plant.
I touch it.
Okay. Just like shove your hand in, okay?
It's like,
yeah, it's a plant, all right. It's wolfsbane, you know that. What are you laughing at?
This was a new system for me, and it's for Stalloid. It's just a 50-50 roll of whether he restrains an impulse.
What impulse?
Oh, he doesn't restrain.
Is he going to eat some of it?
So it was his turn.
Whenever you want. These two have gone.
He
These
touched it,
two
he goes, ah! Just
okay. Ott stands up. He's alarmed. He looks very
and I touch it,
worried.
and I'm like, no, Cece.
I'm bringing him to the asylum next.
I see you got manacles on your belt. I think you should hook him up. He sits down watching Stalloid very carefully. What, do you two touch the wolf thing? It's pretty harmless. It's harmless to touch.
I've been looking for these plants. Do you know where you found it? Is there any more around here?
Well, it's planted all around my house, but you can't see it because they're dead outside. But they are annuals. They'll come back.
You afraid of wolves?
Some.
Most people are afraid of wolves.
Afraid of the ones that walk on two legs?
Some. Your crazy friend is pretty smart. Okay.
He has a PhD.
Yeah, sure he does. What do you want to know?
Well,
I'm a storyteller, you know. I usually get paid for it.
Well, we can compensate you.
Well, how much?
How much do you
Pull a
charge?
dollar out.
I don't charge. I just like something for my time.
I take 10 and give it to
Oh, damn.
Okay. Yeah, he takes that. He seems ready to talk. I can tell you about the elders. You know, they came to this part of then Virginia. They're some of the first in the area back in 1771. They were led by a Revelation Elger. They were already a large clan, about 20 men, women, children. They settled where Elger House stands today on Cherry Hill Road, though for a time it was called Elger Road. They built a cabin there, but Revelation declared it weren't enough. They continued abiding in it in the next 20 years. They continued adding to it for the next 20 years. It was a surprise to many the width and depth they added to what was, at first, just a house and stockade, built for defense so the Indians that sometimes roamed the area wouldn't have the advantage over them. Everybody can make me a history check if you so desire. The Native Americans of this area were pretty hostile to white people back then.
Unbelievable. What's the base for history?
It should be on the
05.
05, okay.
Yeah,
Anybody make it? Okay, so that would just be verification. No one's sure where Revelation Elger came from. Some say he was a pirate who plundered the sea lanes around Madagascar in the 1720s.
Wait, is he Relevation or Revelation?
Revelation, sorry. Revelation, not Relevation. Anyway.
Elevate the nation.
Revelation. He, I totally lost my speed here. He plundered the sea lanes around Madagascar in the 1720s and was much older than the 40 years he professed to be. Others said he spent time living in Salem, Massachusetts, but not until after the witch hunting there was done, for the most part. Some others say he left Salem or Boston one, followed by rumors he was a wizard or sorcerer of ill repute. What was certain was his wealth. As long as he lived there, Revelation always had gold that he paid for anything he needed. But his family did all the work on the house, and what work they did. Some say that proves Revelation was a pirate by the craftsmanship of his home and the finery of the woodwork. Only skilled ship's carpenters could craft that kind of finery. Perhaps the whole family had been pirates. By 1778, he'd raised a great stone tower in the midst of a still-growing house, which was still built like a fortress, with gun slits instead of windows on the first floor, and massive oak doors that could be barred against any attack. The tower of the house stood on that mountaintop, could be seen from miles away, just like now. It was about this time they started renting out their further lands for tenant farming. They were a hard lot, were the Elgers, treated their tenants like slaves, demanding their rent and their due in a timely fashion, or they would run anyone out who defied them. Other than visiting tenants to demand their rent or the equivalent in crops and goods, they were a reclusive bunch. No one visited that grand house, and only a few of the Elgers ever came to town. This raised more rumors about the family, whether they were Africans in their mix or some kind of deformities among them. The Elgers weren't saying no, they kept to themselves. And Revelation, he was the strangest one of them all. He was a cunning old fella, and somehow always seemed to know what his neighbors and tenants were up to, sometimes even in the privacy of their own homes. He might tell them something they spoke about only in private, or mention some slight to his own family or others in the area. It was as if he could see right into the very hearts of men, and the rumors about him claimed he had some kind of crystal or magic that could see beyond the ken of men. Others say that he sat in that tower with a powerful spyglass and watched his neighbors. He was rumored to be a wizard of no little power, and some spoke of him souring milk in their cows just by looking at him, cursing folks with evil eyes, or even calling up poor weather for those who displeased him. There was also talk in that time of the strange noises that came from the mountaintop, which that grand and terrible house stood. Lights sometimes played around the tower top, and strange sounds could be heard coming from the sky or under the ground there. There at Table Rock, that was also on Elger property, was a sight of strange lights at night, though none were too keen to look into it, as the Elgers were quick to shoot trespassers with lead or rock salt, much as they are today. Revelation married one of his clan, no one's sure who, to this day. They had a son whom he named Judas, round about 1782. He named the boy such, as he always said he would assume the youth would someday betray him. During the deprivations of the Indians around these parts between 1789 and 92, when they was at their worst, nothing happened to the Elgers, though some claimed they heard Indian war cries and screams from the house on more than one occasion. Some said the Indians were working with the Elgers. Some of the deaths were actually very convenient for the family. Old Revelation Elger died in 1811. Seems he fell from that tower hedge on All Hallows Eve, late of an evening.
The 50-foot drop from the open top of the tower should have been fatal, and a doctor was sent for that next morning to see the man and write up the death certificate. Judas wanted it all recorded so that he could take control of the family through the law. The doctor, he was an uncle of mine, actually. He was from Wheeling, and he saw the spot where the body struck the rocky ground just outside the tower. He also claimed to me, or perhaps he was just telling a story, that a trail of blood led to the front doors of the house 30 feet away, as if the old man had survived the fall and crawled to the porch to vainly scratch at the doors there, his blood and broken fingernails giving proof to what he had seen. The marks are still in the door to this day, they say. Judas proved he would indeed betray Revelation, if he hadn't already by pushing the old man out of the tower. Revelation's will stipulated a crypt be built on the property and some very intricate rituals be carried out where the body was interred. Judas claimed he did it, though no crypt or mausoleum lies on the property, just a pile of marble Judas had hauled in and left. There's also rumors of some great fire on the mountain the day after Revelation's death, like a funeral fire. Judas was later seen dumping buckets of ashes in the Ohio River. And there are even stories that he paid travelers passing through to take a pocket full of ash and dispense it as far away from the house and mountains as they could. None of it could be proved, of course. A few of the younger Elgers went away to fight in the War of 1812. One of them returned, but he soon left that place. Mayhap he finally realized how strange and sick the family had become. He fled to Ohio, they say, and never returned. With Revelation gone, the money he'd always provided the family just seemed to dry up and disappear as well. The will stipulated Judas to receive it all for the family, but no money was found in the house. Some said there was a secret door or a passage or a room where Revelation kept all his pirate gold, along with his own private library of strange books and tomes that he used for witchcraft. No such room was ever found, according to many. The Elgers declared robbery as certain books were missing and gone, and they say only a few pages of the strange books were ever found by the family. Revelation, if he'd hidden away his fortune in his books, had the last laugh in the end. The family looked for years for the library, but they never found it. They weren't sure if it was in the house or hidden somewhere on the property, perhaps. It might even have been hidden in one of the tenant farms for all they knew, and they searched everywhere but never found it. Without any other options, they started selling off the farms that surrounded their land. This here was actually one of them the Otts acquired back in 1815. By 1830, they'd sold off all the land except where Elger House stood and the land around it and Table Rock. The house was by then starting to show the neglect the Elgers would become famous for around here. No repairs or improvements had been made to the house since Revelation died. Judas was too busy scouring the mountain for the hidden treasure, and the rest of the Elgers didn't know any better. Judas died in 1842, and he was struck by lightning late one night between the house and Table Rock. His body was found not far from the house, his head and feet burned in a blackened spot on the ground. The storm had been fierce, and some claimed they'd seen Judas at Table Rock not long before he died, dancing around the rock and singing strange songs. He didn't die without issue, however. Lamentation Elger had been born in 1803. He led the clan, and his wife, whomever she might be, mayhap Lettice Elger, though some say she was also his sister, gave birth to Roy in 1837. Now, Lamentation was a wily one, and I hear he never trusted Roy. He was cunning, if not terribly smart. Lamentation made sure he was always seen in Wheeling, at least once a week. It lasted until 1855 or thereabouts. But then he just disappeared. According to Roy, the old man had gone mad and was being kept safely locked away in the house as his degenerate senility had struck early, something not unheard of amongst the Elgers. There's some that say Lamentation saw something at Table Rock late one night that broke his mind. Others claim Lamentation didn't disappear at all, but was murdered by Roy so he could take over the clan. Still more say Lamentation's ghost walks the house looking for old Revelation's treasure. Now Roy, he's been in charge, or so he says, of the clan ever since. And in the last 5 years, there's been more signs of wolves and such on the property. Sometimes big animals. He kind of glances over towards the wolf's bane. There are tales of men and women disappearing on the road if they go too near Elger House on certain nights, usually when the moon's full. That's why I've got that wolf's bane around here in my house. This close to the place, why, it's only a mile or so away. I can often hear the howling of wolves at night. Some have been frightened in their homes by the sounds of growling and such, but I believe the Elgers have something to do with that, or using the wolves to their own advantage, or at least the rumors of wolves. And that house is partially in ruins now. Whatever skill the Elgers once had in carpentry's long gone, and they don't even bother to fix the sagging roofs and fallen shingles anymore. The place is little more than a ruin, and the Elgers have inbred for the last 3 generations at least. There's no record or word of an Elger marrying outside the clan, or married at all, I reckon. They only married each other.
I'd say another 50 years, they'll all be mad and the place will be in ruins. That's my story. Thank you for the $10.
Well, it sounds like the Elger story, not yours.
That's a story I'm telling. Miss, I'm from Wheeling too.
Where is this Table Rock?
He tells you basically along the mountaintop. If you continue along the mountaintop, the other side of the Elger house, it's down that way. It's off of I don't know what the name of this road is, but it's off Cherry Hill Road as well. It's on their property. Their property pretty much contains the house, the land between house and Table Rock, and Table Rock. That's all they have left. Pretty much the way he describes it, all of this used to belong to them up here, all the way down to the river. Yeah, they owned a ton back in the 18th century.
Ready.
Anything else you want to add? Yeah.
I just told you the whole story.
And I roll psychology.
Yeah, yes you can. John don't trust nobody anymore. Did you make it? No? Okay. Just a regular fail?
Yeah.
So whatever you think is what you think.
Is there anywhere... I know you said their farm plots were sold out. Is there anywhere you think that the library might be? If you said this library was still missing, never found?
I would say it's in the house. Why would you have a library on some piece of land you rented out to somebody else?
Well, makes sense. You just said that it could have been... my bad.
No. He's not... He doesn't sound like he's like... He thinks it's in the house. That's his answer to your question. He thinks that... You get the impression that him thinking that the Elgers looking at tenant farms is stupid of them. Not that it was a stupid question. Sorry if it came across that way. It wasn't meant to.
Does he apologize?
He believes it's most likely no. He doesn't pick up on her being a little annoyed at that or upset. He thinks it's in the house. The library must be hidden somewhere in the house. But he's never been to that house. He doesn't want to go to that house.
Do you think they still keep watch with those gun slits?
They replaced the gun slips with windows.
So it's not a fortress as much.
20, 30, 40, no. Nope. Although most of the windows are busted now. They board them up. Must have been grand in its day. It's not grand anymore, I can tell you that. You can see it from the road if you go up Cherry Hill Road. You can see the sagging roof. You can see the missing shutters. Blank windows where there's boards. Some of them, they didn't even replace the glass. Didn't care. There's something wrong with them. Really.
Do you think there's something true to the Elgers being sorcerers, or at least Revelation being...
Something ain't right with that family. In Revelation, the stories about him are scary. The things he saw, the things he would say, he would tell people secrets about themselves that nobody else should know. So I heard.
Could I buy some of your Wolfsbane?
What? No, that's all I got living right now.
Just a few clippings.
No. That's all I keep. It's just one plant. I mean, it's just one plant of Wolfsbane. Not going to have my house undefended. Not this time of year. Not with a full moon coming up in a couple of weeks.
Do you think the outside plants work well too?
They're dead.
Yeah.
Right now they're dead and covered in 2 feet of snow.
Oh.
Remember, snow's melting, but there's still quite a bit on the ground.
Okay.
This guy had shoveled out a path to his house. And you can see tracks leading to the outbuildings.
Where can we get some Wolfsbane?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Where did you get yours then?
Got it a long time ago.
Where?
Found it in the woods.
Where in the woods?
I don't know. It was 40 years ago.
Tip hat. Well, thank you for your time.
Check what's done. I'm done.
You have a delightful evening.
You better get that looked at. It's feeling infected. Okay, you go out in the cold. This seems like kind of an ornery, cranky old man, but he is giving you guys as much as he knows. Anything else you guys want to ask him or talk to him about?
Just one leaf.
So that I don't miss anything.
No.
I'll give you $5.
All right, one leaf.
What is it?
It takes $5. He lets you cut a leaf off.
Pack of gum
Yeah, so you have a leaf of Wolfsbane.
in the back seat. I don't know. It's all in my pocket. Okay.
Hey, don't let the dog out.
He lost his shoe. There you go.
James panics when I say don't let the dog out.
Yeah.
That's the dog out.
I'm gonna take Miss Bloomberg aside and.
In the house?
Well, I'm gonna ask her to go outside.
Okay. Yeah. What about the rest of you guys? Are you staying or leaving, or is there anything else you
I
want to
got
ask?
my lease, I'm
I
happy.
think I'm probably
you got a
getting
lease?
out, yeah.
Yes. Paid him $5.
We'll leave.
Oh, I was willing to pay.
Oh well.
You can pay him. You saw me pay him $5 and go
He
on.
probably won't let another lease.
He wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't.
If Yorie wasn't,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are all in the room.
I'm sitting there looking at the leaf like,
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, so you guys leave. Everybody leaves? Is that, am I right there?
I
Okay.
think we're gonna go.
everybody leaves.
So I know you're of a more dubious background. If you were going to say sneak into this property, how would you do so?
Judging by the fact these people seem
Oh, yes, you
abnormal,
should.
going there at night does not exactly sound like the safest option.
Mhm.
So, in an instance like this,
I made it.
under the cover of
You can open it.
daylight, and definitely not with this many people all in one group.
Wait, which house are we talking about? This house we're at, or that house?
I point at the Elger house.
Oh, okay, so
The
we're not
mansion
stealing
on
the
the
man's wolf thing. Okay.
We're not going to steal the poor old man's wolf thing.
Oh, crap.
It is cold!